This was an apple orchard, and I left the apple trees on the side in the left, as you can see. There's still the apple tree there, and these two trees were main. And beyond the trees, about quarter of a mile, is a tiny little brook called Brook. It goes all along the end of my property. Yeah, it's a nice place. But it would have been crazy to live anywhere else. Imagine that. To go in Fleet Street. Yeah. When you can live here and write books.
Bijna een eeuw geleden werd in Budapest Stefan Lorant geboren. Lorant is een man van het beeld. Nog voor de Eerste Wereldoorlog begon hij met fotograferen. Later werd hij een van de belangrijkste fotoredacteuren van deze eeuw. Hij is nu 96.
Da 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 dee da da dee da dee dee da 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 dee da da. Here is a double spread on a Beethoven concert. Dochnani conducts the pastorale, and here instead of making a caption, I put the music there. Ta 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 da 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 da. So while he conducts his melody, the people are listening here what he conducts. So the notes are all right.
Al in de jaren 20 begon Lorant met het maken van tijdschriften. Eerst in Duitsland, toen in Hongarije en vervolgens in Engeland. Hij experimenteerde met layouts en ontwikkelde een stijl die vandaag de dag nog altijd wordt toegepast.
Oh, this is a magnificent reportage about a woman who killed her husband. Tuesday evening and at night I woke up, he was looking in my pocketbook for my money, and we started to fight, and he took a revolver and aimed at me. I fell down on my bed, and I found that the pistol was in my hand, and I put it against him, and before noon the pistol went up, and I was in my bed. I didn't know what to do, so I went in the kitchen, took the big kitchen knife, and cut his body into pieces. Terrible. Oh, that's an early picture of Mussolini.
Lorants beeldverhalen onderscheiden zich door hun filmische karakter. Voordat hij in tijdschriften ging, had Lorant een carrière als cameraman en regisseur. 14 films heeft hij gemaakt. Mozarts Leben, Lieben und Leiden uit 1920 was zijn eerste film.
It was in 1921. And one day, the young lady came to the studio with a note from the office, from a director, make a test of this young lady. I was at that time 20 or 21, and she was the same age group. And the studio was a glass house, and we had lamps, these big lamps, and it was as hot as hell. And I say, what the hell do you want to become a movie actress? This is terrible. Find that you are a nice girl. Find yourself a man that won't be difficult, get a child, have a happy life, but not in a studio state. No, I want to be a movie. So I was sitting, I was doing the scenes, there was a table. I say, you climb the table and jump down. And we noticed she had got beautiful legs. I said, jump down again. So we looked. So he did that and said, well, come on, before the camera, we go premiere plans. And she came and say, I don't know, some nonsense like, oh, your father or your mother died. That was her reaction. And said, your lover comes and says he will never want to see you again. And so on, so on. So I went on for about 5 minutes, and the actors laughed about it. It was a great joke. And I said, all right, I will develop a little test when we go to town in the office. We had a little room where we can project it, and I looked at it, and it was just terrible. And when she came, I said, look, I told you, get yourself a man, get married, and you will never make it in film. And so the world never heard from Marlene Dietrich.
Here we've got some low-res pictures. This is an interesting one of Lorant when he was 4 or 5 years old. It was taken in a studio in Budapest where his father was the manager. On one level, Stefan Lorant is referred to as the godfather of photojournalism. But sadly, this does not give you a full idea about the man. He was telling stories with pictures on a screen, no sound. If you like, there were captions. He then moved those and transposed those onto paper. He started telling the mass audience, not the upper classes, stories on paper. He was also writing about ordinary people. Everybody has this sort of little bit of curiosity. They like to know how people do things. He was producing simple stories for ordinary people.
Look at that. Wait a little bit here. He's the Munch illustrator, which I made. The new candid cameras, the Airmonarchs, and a more conventional Leica that was developed a short time afterwards were both products of the German camera industry. The impact was first felt in German picture magazine, notable the Munich Illustrator Presse. Its editor, a Hungarian-born innovator named Stefan Lorant, seized the opportunity of the new action pictures produced by the new cameras to convey to his readers a sense of that action, of being there. They show a layout in 1928 in the Munich Illustrated Press, and this is also in the Munich Illustrated about politicians. They say effective layout.
De nieuwe camera's hadden geen glasplaten, maar filmpjes met 36 opnamen. Nu was het mogelijk om snel achter elkaar te fotograferen. Niet alleen bracht dit de suggestie van beweging, ook kon een redacteur als Lorant zijn selectie maken van de voltreffers uit de serie.
I said to a photographer, take a white paper, and took a white paper and put it and make a hole with a big lens and look through the hole, and so that people don't know where they sit. And they started talking, and the picture came out more natural than they also had on the top of a Leica just a prism. So if you took the Leica, like to take a picture of this way, you really took the picture of that. And it was very interesting pictures.
München ist auch die Stadt des Frohsinns. Im Hofbräuhaus treffen sich die Einheimischen mit den Gästen aus allen Ländern der Welt beim edlen Gerstensaft.
De Münchener Illustreerte werd een succes. In 4 jaar tijd steeg de oplage van 20.000 naar 700.000. Een blad met zoveel invloed wordt met afgunst bekeken door de partij die op het punt staat de macht in Duitsland over te nemen.
I knew this Austrian political propagandist Adolf Hitler in Munich since 1925, since he was let out of prison. You see, Hitler was not Hitler at that time. He was just a politician. So he was in Munich, came to the coffee house, Café Heck, in the English Garden in Munich. So I knew him. I went to his sister, Paula, and asked her whether she had any picture of her brother. I was sure, because I think during the war, one sent a picture from the front home. So there were pictures when Hitler was just an ordinary soldier in the war. He always spoke about the same thing, that Germany had to pay reparation, and he could talk about it for half an hour until you get bored and you went to another table with another friend where we talked about, have you seen the latest film or latest theater, or what you think about this girl and so forth. Usually, if you shake hands, hey, hello, wie geht es Ihnen? That's a hard, manly handshake. And he was like a woman, soft and so. He didn't impress me as a man, as a virile man, which he wasn't.
This is the BBC Home and Overseas Service. Tonight we present Emlyn Williams and Peggy Ashcroft in I Was Hitler's Prisoner by Stefan Lorant. On the 14th of March 1933, 5 days after Hitler took over the power in Munich, Stefan Lorant was arrested. He was the editor of the Münchner Illustrator Presse, a non-political illustrated paper. He was kept in prison for 6.5 months. He was kept in protective custody, as the Nazis described it. He wasn't charged with anything. He hadn't had a hearing before a judge. While in prison, under great difficulties and under constant risk of his life, he was able to keep a diary. It is a record of actual facts.
I, Stefan Lorant, am Hitler's prisoner. I'm writing in cell number 24. I haven't yet been put in a place with the other prisoners. It's a small room. Small and dirty and dark. There's a table and a lavatory bucket, and the smell of the disinfectant in the bucket, the smell of chlorine. And in the dust on the wall, somebody's written Heil Hitler with his finger.
Lorant, you come now.
Well, where? Where do you want me to go?
In here. In with him.
Yes, but I can't move. Don't shut me in here.
I'll be all right. I needn't worry. It's claustrophobia. Is that what they call it? That's all it is. Of course it is. It's nerves. I must not struggle. I must not struggle. I mustn't struggle. Let me out. I'm dying. Open. 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 Open.
So here's my lovely. Give me your hand. Oh, you are lucky. Look at here we are. Lincoln. Well, I take that. My picture. Oh, thank you very much. That brings me $1,000. I like that they printed it. I didn't ask my permission. They allowed us to take every week a book which we can read from the prison library, and 2 prisoners brought in a basket full of books. I say, pick one. And I picked one, and it happened to be Lincoln's letters and speeches, translated into German. A book what people give to the prison library if they don't want to read it. And first, I learned about Abraham Lincoln. When you read in a Hitler prison, a man, a humanitarian like Lincoln, with smellish towards none, with charity for all, let us finish this war we are in. So it is the best place to meet such a person.
Now for a moment, let the real-life characters of this grim story replace the actors.
It is a very strange feeling to be here and to listen to the dramatization of my book, which has been so excellently done. Believe me, it is like a nightmare coming back to life again.
Na een reeks protestartikelen in de Hongaarse pers weet de Hongaarse regering Lorant vrij te krijgen uit de nazi-gevangenis. Het succes van zijn boek in Engeland biedt hem nieuwe kansen.
I am very lucky indeed to be here. I love England. My happiest days in the past were those I was able to spend in London. I thought myself in paradise on the banks of the Thames.
In Londen begint hij opnieuw met het maken van tijdschriften en één daarvan wordt het populairste blad van Engeland, de Picture Post. De continu stijgende oplage is te danken aan een afgewogen combinatie van sociale bewogenheid, educatief amusement en aantrekkelijke vrouwen.
I suppose it must have been late in 1990. I was working for an English photographic magazine, and I asked whether I could interview him. And since then, I guess you could say we've continued our conversation. Probably the most important thing I'm doing with him at the moment is a book which is on the period in time where he was in England, where we're talking about the creation of Weekly Illustrated, Lilliput and Picture Post, and the publication of I Was Hitler's Prisoner, all in 6 years. And we've got a provisional title on that of A Hungarian in England.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If a photographer brings 30 pictures, I remember every picture in my mind. So if I have the story and remember the picture where we picture, I decided here, that's a right-hand page. Then you have the headline, yeah, that's page 1. Now here, they usually the big picture, which tells the story. As large as possible, like that, and teach the detail of the pictures. And then is a text, one column. Yeah. No, there's a four details, and it is harmonious, like not so out of the blue.
Lorant werkte met de beste fotografen van zijn tijd. Zijn landgenoot Brassailles maakt een beroemde reportage over het Parijse nachtleven die Lorant in het blauw presenteert. Ook fotografen als André Kertész, Alfred Eisenstadt en Robert Capa verschaffen hem het materiaal waarmee hij zijn pagina's tot leven kan brengen. Capa's reportage van de Spaanse burgeroorlog wordt historisch.
There were always sex. So I did, for instance, a story in Picture Post of woman of the corset, in corset, And I say, how can I put it in to show the backs and so? So I asked a historian, an art historian, to do an article on a history of the corset. And that was the first time in a family magazine where you have the legs and a little behind as a history article. And at that time, we had the foxtrot or the one step, and we went to the Savoy, and then they came up with the music, and then needed a text. I say, whatever they have, put in the picture pose. So they have da 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 dee da dee da dim da da. Da 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 da. So they can. I saw your picture in the picture pose and fell in love with you. So it was made. The other text didn't matter. So when I went with New or with friends anyway in a Savoy, I gone and the band played. When I came in, they started da da dee da dee da dum da dum, and say thank you very much.
When I saw your picture in the picture pose, I fell in love with you. And now that I've met you, I realize the pictures in the picture pose, they never tell lies. It gave a full description of your beauty and charms. I never dreamt I'd ever hold you in my arms. I saw your picture in the picture pose, and now you belong to me.
In 1938, Chamberlain was in Munich, made a pact. It was Hitler and Mussolini, and he came home to England, peace for our time. So I was frightened to death. I said, what happened here? You know, they don't say they are blind. I know Hitler, they will break his word. That doesn't mean anything.
Lorant ontmoet Winston Churchill, die op dat moment oppositie voert tegen Chamberlains politiek. Churchill schrijft in de Picture Post verscheidene artikelen waarin hij waarschuwt voor de nazi's. Bovendien maakt Lorant van hem een personality. Met een oplage van 1,7 miljoen, waarvan elk exemplaar gemiddeld door 5 personen wordt gelezen, bereikt de Picture Post ongeveer de helft van de volwassen bevolking in Engeland. Een beter podium kan Churchill zich nauwelijks wensen op weg naar zijn functie als oorlogspremier.
To have a lunch alone with Churchill was a misery, because he didn't speak. You sit there sometimes for half an hour, and not a peeps came out of him. He said, he made a speech, and he didn't care two hoots I was there. So his favorite food was steak and kidney pie. So I watched that he takes the spoon or a knife or fork, and he didn't. He take a big plate of steak and kidney pie and put it in his mouth and shoveled it in one after the other and put it down. And then there was a cigar. He make a couple of puffs. Then there was a little brandy. He drank only brandy, and he took again the plate. Boom, 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 and then again. God help me, there was a piece of chocolate, and he took a big piece of chocolate and put it in his mouth, and that's how he had lunch.
Anyway. Stefan's copy. No, folks, this is the moment of truth.
The modern fotojournalism. See, this outrageous war. Nobody seen that was Mr. Michael Hallett thinks that a war is out. Every war is outrageous. No, war.
Just keep it simple.
Well, no, nobody's interested in your opinion. That you say a war is outrageous. A war is a war, period. That's a terrible war.
So if this carries on to the point where you actually arrive in England.
That's all. Boulogne. There were reasons for Lorant, even if they were not immediately apparent.
You don't like it? You don't like it?
It's not don't like it, it's not true. That's just, don't philosophize what you don't know. That's how not immediately apparent. You see, this little thing explaining, not explain. They're not dumb, they don't have to explain. You're telling him that he... So I mean, very simple. Simple.
I'll leave it with you, Stefan. That's your copy, I'll leave it with you.
Yeah, well, no, I mean,
we'll go through
I can do so. You had most of the... Takes a day to fix it. I looked through it.
Okay. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you.
Lorant woont al sinds 1940 in de Verenigde Staten. Na het uitbreken van de oorlog werd het werken voor hem in Engeland onmogelijk. Nog zijn goede verstandhouding met Churchill, nog zijn anti-Duitse stellingname kon hem behoeden voor een hardnekkige Engelse oorlogswet die hem bestempelde tot ongewenst vreemdeling.
Because I was born in Hungary, and Hungary was at that time an ally of Germany. So there came that as an enemy alien, I cannot live in a country because I might help the Germans if they're moving how to come to London. That's silly. That's crazy. And all the time I was the chief editor of the biggest paper of England. America, I love it. It's a wonderful country, wonderful place. So I know America. I'm the only one probably, including the president, who can name the president from the beginning up to the end. George Washington, and the second president was John Adams. Jefferson, Madison, Monroe, Quincy Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison. Tyler was the 10th president. J.K. Polk, Taylor, Fillmore, Pierce, Buchanan, and then came our greatest president, Abraham Lincoln. After 16th president came Johnson, General Grant, Hayes, Garfield, Arthur, Cleveland, Harrison, Cleveland, McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, Taft, Wilson, Harding, Coolidge, Hoover, and the 32nd president was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Truman, Eisenhower, Kennedy, Johnson, Nixon, Ford, Carter, Reagan, Bush, and we have Clinton. That's 42. Now this is my one of Lincoln. He's my first Lincoln, sorry. Thank you so much. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
So here, a little Lincoln, a tiny Lincoln.
In Amerika maakt Lorant opnieuw carrière met een nieuw soort boek, de picturale biografie.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are other 5 or 6 more.
Met zijn boeken over Lincoln vestigt hij zijn naam als schrijver en historicus.
When Lincoln was in the White House, he invited a young painter, Mr. Carpenter, who wanted to paint the pictures of Emancipation Proclamation picture. And Lincoln talked to him at night about Shakespeare, about his youth, and so it was very friendly. And so I thought, as a Hungarian, so he must have married, he was in the 20s, must have married, there must be more there. I found out that he has a grandson who didn't live too far away, maybe an hour from here. So I drove down. There was a man working on the lawn, a middle-aged man. So I say, "Are you Mr. Carpenter?" I say, "That's the animal." I said, so I told him who I was. He went into his kitchen. I say, "You said you have material from Lincoln." I said, "Sure." So he went under the table. There was a big case, metal case, full of pictures and material, and threw it on the table. There were letters of General Grant, of Lincoln, there were pictures, and so on. So I found there a little picture, a broken plate of Lincoln. Not now. How that happened? So I saw the man was not a good artist, so he took a photographer and took Lincoln's head, which he painted the Emancipation Proclamation picture, which is in the Capitol in Washington. You know, you go the wrong way.
Okay.
You go from, if I may say, because I know, so if you start somewhere, let me see, look, come on here, yeah, and get a little bit there, and you, because this is in a wall, you know, and I will explain. If you put those, can I look at it?
You want to see?
Not just to look at you. Look, this is perfect. If you have
Okay.
all the 8 pictures,
We'll do it like this.
then if you want, you can go nearer to the last one. Okay? No, start over there. Don't mind me. Start Mr. Lincoln, he's important.
Okay.
That's Abraham Lincoln in 1858, that's 2 years before he was elected presidency. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, his pictures before the Civil War. And here you can see the face sadder and sadder as we lost 100,000 of young Americans in the war. In 1864, so his face is only 6 years older than that. His age in the Civil War, 20 years. And this happened to be his last picture. He was assassinated in 1865, and this picture was done about a week before. These 10 pictures means a lot to me and to my friend who come here. That's my guest house, and they like to look at the pictures and talk to Abraham Lincoln, who was our greatest president. What?
Do you want me to find out how much these are in Pittsfield for you?
You get it for me, and I give you one.
What do you want? Do you want one like this?
Like yours.
Where you've got the...
I don't know. Well,
Where you've got that?
I don't know, Tremor.
Or do you just want a simple one?
But is that what you use, what you like?
This is my preferred one.
Well, that's the same, eh?
Okay.
I don't think.
Okay, we'll look for one. I'll go and pick one up, or go and find out how many there are in Pittsfield.
Same. Simple. I don't take many pictures of children.
Well,
But this is a good one.
yeah, with Dr. Walker coming
Oh, you
over,
tell me.
we must find
I
some.
don't know what they will do.
We must find some time to sit down. We must find some time to sit down on the book.
On the book?
Yeah.
Here?
No, when this week,
What?
while I'm here.
Oh, well, I hope so. But that's the main
Yeah.
thing, my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep them.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Good headline. The good news on Wall Street is pretty bad. Dorothy Norman died. Stieglitz's girlfriend, 92. George Montgomery, photographer. My God, photographers are dying. Great.